the mirror for 10 hours every night, not daring to close their eyes even when they're exhausted, and always keeping their faces calm and not daring to panic, because a group of mysterious alien creatures gather in front of the mirror to mimic their movements. And if anyone tries to resist, these monsters will tear them to pieces. Someone once tried to escape from this strange forest during the day, but no matter which way she ran, she always ended up back where she started. And at night, the creatures come out in force, tracking the escapee by scent and killing her. But Belle is not willing to live like this any longer. She's fed up with the fear. But every time she tries to take action, she's stopped by an experienced woman who's lived here for 20 years and knows the ferocity of the creatures. And if she provokes them, all of them will be killed. But Belle only agreed on the surface, and during the day when she went out to look for food, she would mark the trees, and at night when she returned to the hut, she would pose in front of the mirror to please the monsters. After countless days and nights of searching and observing, Belle finally knew her way around. So one day she fled the hut with a bird. Surprisingly, the old woman didn't stop her as usual, which filled her with doubt. So she ran along the markings she had secretly sat down on, hoping to get out of the forest before nightfall. She ran tirelessly until a clearing appeared in front of her. But when she thought she was finally out of the forest, reality hit her hard. When she looked at the forest, she saw a mountain range stretching into the sky. Then it dawned on Belle that she couldn't run away from this place in a day, even if she ran her legs off. After this failure, she came to terms with the fact that she was trapped and began to obey the rules. However, while out searching for food, Belle and Tyre were complaining about how the old woman was always bossing them around. Belle came up with a plan, and she began to agree with Tyre about the old woman. After getting closer to Tyr, she came up with a bold hypothesis that they had never really seen the monsters and that it was all a lie made up by the old woman. Tyre had a twinkle in his eye, and in a fit of curiosity, the two of them sneaked out to where the monsters were hiding, facing the deep and mysterious cave. Belle was not afraid but rather excited. In the end, the two decided to take a chance. Terrell was responsible for pulling the rope at the entrance of the cave while Belle went deep into the bottom of the cave to check it out. She carefully moved downward without any accidents along the way. When she finally reached the bottom of the cave, she was surprised to find it empty. No sign of monsters, but instead there were many human tools scattered about. Belle didn't think twice about picking out a few things that might be useful and carrying them up the rope. Although he had already collected a number of items, Belle was still not satisfied and wanted to continue to go deeper. But at that moment there was suddenly a strange sound in the cavern. Belle panicked and called out to Tyrell when a hand slowly poked out of the cave. But when it came into contact with the sunlight outside, it emitted a white smoke. In the nick of time, Tyrell threw the rope down and Belle was able to escape. However, when they brought them back to the hut, they were questioned by the old woman, not realizing that their actions would soon bring them more trouble than they could imagine. But what they had brought back served them well, as Tyrell used a broken camera connected to a monitor to create a simple camera, hoping to get a glimpse of the creature's true nature. But strangely enough, the screen remained blank until late at night, and just when everyone thought the monster wouldn't show up tonight, there was a muffled knock at the door.